there was an update to the Analogue Pocket.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is big.
That you can add your own cores, like some developer cores to it, and people have released Sega Master System, Game Gear, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy, and Neo Geo. So I loaded those all up on there, and they're amazing. It really, especially because the Analogue Pocket, I think, is good. It was kind of hindered by you had to have your own cartridges, basically, or like an EverDrive.
Yeah. And so you're saying really just because of the awesome screen quality.
And the screen quality and the buttons. The buttons are 8-bit DOE buttons and D-pad, so they feel really good. And they also added the other thing they added recently to the update was with cartridges you can use save states. So if you did want to use your childhood cartridge, you could do save states, which is amazing and kind of breaks your brain a little bit, but it's been infinitely more playable to me because I can load up Neo Geo games. I've been playing, Metal Slug, Magician Lord, or whatever it's called.
So it's actually the Neo Geo arcade.
Yeah, arcade.
Core. It's not like just the Pocket or whatever.
Yeah, it's the arcade console Neo Geo.
I would like one of those.
And so it's not a software emulation, it's hardware emulation, so it's
even still
so there's less lag to it, so it feels a little better to it. There's some magic to it, even though it's all software, it's ROMs with emulation in the hardware.
Have you ever been out in public playing it and people are like, what's that?
No, not really. I usually just play it at home.
That's happened to me when I've been out with the RG351P. The way people actually put it is they go, what kind of a Switch is that? They think I've got it's much smaller than even a Switch Lite, but there's just something about, the purple and the sticks and stuff. I think they're like, it's gotta be a Switch.
Yeah, and so I've been playing Game Boy Advance games, so I loaded up a bunch of ROMs to it, of course. So it does make it easier because you can just switch between things. You're like, oh, I want to play. I've been playing like this ridiculous game. Is it Mega Man Extreme, which is a port of Mega Man X to Game Boy Color, which is like ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous to try to do a Mega Man X game on Game Boy Color, but I've been having fun with it just because of the controls, and it's weirdly pretty interesting.
You should find a good like adventure game, like one of those long ass Game Boy Color adventure games that is recommended by Hungry Goraya or Gaming Productions, who we reached out to. Gaming Productions said he'd come on this podcast if we want.
Oh man, I would totally talk to him. He's so chill. It's like his videos are such a hang.
Yeah.
And so I think he'd be a good guy to talk to. I feel like we'd probably just both be chill, and monotone voice would just lull you into a soft seductive sleep.
Yeah, we could start with the conceit could be like, all right, EJ's got this device, this Analogue Pocket. What should he play on it? Go.
It's like, he's actually talked about mostly console games, so it'd be interesting to see if there's any handheld things that he recommends.
Maybe a good Sega Master System game to play on that thing. Does it play those yet?
It does play Sega Master System, so I loaded up all the Sonics from the Sega Master System. I've loaded up Castle of Illusion. Yeah. I've loaded up... there was a Zelda clone made by Capcom, Golden Axe, on there, which is... It's Zelda 1. It's literally Zelda 1, but Capcom made their own version.
Yeah,
and it's Golden Axe Warrior. And
okay. So it's the Golden Axe franchise, but an adventure game. I see.
Yeah, it's cool. Literally Zelda 1. Literally. They didn't even hide it. The way the sword, just pokes, and there's, the trees, and the way that even, enemies spawn. You know how enemies spawn in, those little clouds in Zelda 1.
Oh,
It's exactly the
it's
same.
all there.
It's all there.
Oh yeah, and then the Sega Genesis Mini 2 and the Mega Drive Mini 2, they've released finalized all their games that are coming out, and it'll be released in October. I probably won't get it because I do have like everything I need, but it's tempting because having Sega CD games alone take up a fair amount of storage space, like 800 meg files. So if you wanted to get the whole library, you need some storage for that. Having them just like native right on a, you could get, I think both versions of it have a pretty eclectic collection of games, and
between the two of them, I think you could play that forever. But
yeah,
my disappointment with the Mini 2 is they left out like the Popful Mail and Lunar games,
right?
Which
That's
are
what everybody's pissed about.
Yeah, well, they're in the Japanese version, but I guess they couldn't. I don't know. They couldn't be bothered, because like Working Designs made the English versions, and maybe they couldn't negotiate with them or something. I don't know, but those were pretty good gets, and I think it felt like they should have gotten like Snatcher, like something that Konami adventure game.
I just think it's cool that Sega is trying to advertise its pretty rich and lesser known game library.
Yeah, I mean it's like they have Crusaders of Senti on there. There's a lot of good gets on there, and
you want Sega to come back a little bit, and
yeah, but it is too expensive, and I have all those games on my arcade. So
they need to do is a Sega arcade package for like Switch or something. That would include Star Wars Arcade, Daytona USA,
Oh yeah.
That would be awesome.
Just like the Cowabunga collection. You just want some like really heartful collections with that are treated right and delivered to you, and you'll buy them even if you can emulate them. You'll buy them
three times.
3 times, and
maybe 4.
Maybe 4.
I'm encouraged that it's shocking to see like, is there any reason to buy an Xbox Series S? Because everything that comes out seems to come out for the Xbox One as well.
And like I mean I've said it a lot of times. I don't think I've had much desire for new graphics since the GameCube.
Yeah, well, you have your PS5. I guess you're playing some, but like you could have bought Elden Ring for PS4, right?
Yeah, you could. It would basically be exclusives that they arbitrarily put on that system. That would be it. Yeah. And so, other than that, you could put them on PlayStation 4, and they'd be so playable, and you wouldn't probably even notice the difference unless you were, crazy.
It's interesting because you would expect by now, for market reasons, that by now they would start to be like only on the Xbox Series S, only on the PlayStation 5. You'd be seeing that way more often. But I think maybe it's the fact that like digital stores have become what they've become. I'm the kind of gamer.
Chip shortages, so that some people can't even buy these systems.
That's a good point.
So they're just like, well, if I'm putting out a game, I want people to buy it.
I'm at a point where they make so much cool, either retro re-releases or retro inspired games or cool indie games or whatever, that like my entire library is like $20 and under. Like I'm only buying like the Metal Jesus type pickup games, and I'm not buying a lot of the $60 games. I'm just not, unless it's a Mario or something. And it's not even for me because of value. It's more like I just prefer that kind of pick up and play gaming style. And if the Switch wasn't handheld, I wouldn't do it nearly as often either.
I'm gravitating toward playing those Cowabunga collections, or even the Analogue Pocket. I'm gonna play the games on that because they're more pick up and play. They're more dad friendly. So
exactly. And dads our age who grew up with this stuff, we've got more money than the 20-year-olds. So you got to wonder like how much of the market is trying to capture like a 36-year-old who's doing better financially.
Yeah, I assume that's that's a lot of the market share right now.
I'd love to know. I'd love to see age demographic breakdowns for who's buying video games.
Oh yeah.
Who spends the most on video games?
I love all that data.
Yeah, who do you have to cater to? Who's the long tail of the Xbox Series S?
The big whales.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.